Hey, what's going on? Today we have a new install for you on this episode. It is going to be some underwater lighting for your transom area on your Yamaha boat. Specifically on this one, it's going to be for the 2021 Yamaha FSH Sport 210. This can be applied to any boat. It's a through-hole underwater light. You're going to need, first of all, your underwater light. I am testing this one out. I will come back and post in the comments later how it does, and I'll probably do an action video as well. Might put it in this video, we'll see. If not, you'll see it in another post on either the Instagram page, which is the.FSH.dude on Instagram, or I'll do a separate video for testing. But this is the West Marines version. The best thing about this is made by Lumitech. So the same thing they have for $180, West Marine put their name on it. Lumitech is still on it. It is still the same quality, same brand, everything as a Lumitech light that's going to cost you nearly $200. It's $99.99. Okay, so this is a single color. All I wanted was blue, so I got a blue underwater light. They make a white one as well. So if you're not trying to do a multicolor or array or a spectrum of colors that you can change between, and you just want a nice lit up rear end of your boat or anywhere underwater or inside the boat for a very good price, I highly recommend this product. Now when it comes to the install, you'll see it's very simple. They have the smallest diameter hole you have to drill, which is only a 1/4 inch. And then what I have here is some 5200. If you're in the boating world, you probably already know about this stuff. There's two types. This is the fast cure 5200, and they also have a slow cure 5200 as well. I'm using the fast cure today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started and get right back to you guys, and we'll see how we wire this in and set it up. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so your first step is going to be, if you still have it, there is a notice sticker about the drain plug you will have to remove. I will be installing this just above the articulated keel, and it's going to be going right there, basically where that notice sticker was that they installed. So my first step after that is going to be clean up the residue and make a clean dry surface for the 5200. So let's get to it. Alright, we now have a clean dry surface. I used a lint-free cloth with just a drop of odorless mineral spirits. Now, you don't want to go too crazy on this because this will remove, you know, like oil-based paint, stain, and varnish. Not so much gel coat as much. You just want to do a light coat. All right, and then to get that glue off, and then you'll just take some soap and water, rinse it off, and then dry it off nice and clean with a lint-free again, and you should be good to go. All right, so here is the underwater light. Okay, you have two leads coming out of the back with a flat surface, already sealed from the factory. Just some light on that. All right, so there's your light. Beautiful design, bronze coated aluminum, nice sized leads. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a measurement and make sure that I have my light centered. About 11 inches, so 5.5 is going to mark center. I just want to show you really quick. Pop your rear hatch for your clean out ports, and this is going to come through right there, so you should be able to work on it and grab it easily through the compartment in your clean out port door on the rear. Now again, this is for the 210 FSH. The wires and leads coming off the back of the light are centered. Drill the hole, make sure the drill bit is the right size for this to sit inside flush. You're gonna 5200 the hell out of the back of this, and also the screw holes. You're gonna pre-drill those, mark those, and then you'll be installed. After that, it'll be just running the wiring up to the center console, where I'm gonna put it on accessory switch, and I'm gonna move my interior LED lights to the courtesy light switch to come on with the courtesy lights as well. All right, so now that you have your hole drilled, what you want to do is check the fitment for your light. All right, so the wire clearance is going to be a 1/4 inch, and then the mounting surface indentation there that protects the wiring going through the hole is a 1/2 inch hole. So on our boats, you're going to just do a 1/2 inch hole. I started with the 1/4 inch as a pilot hole, and then I drilled the 1/2 inch hole. So let's check the fitment on it. All right, fitment is good. We are flush to the surface, lined up, center line, dead center of the hole, as well as lined up with the center of the articulating keel. Just to give you a shot here, let me show you where these wires are coming through before I keep going. So you can see here, wires are right there, easy to access, and it's enough lead to where you can work on it and attach your rest of your run that's going to go up to the front right here without having to be inside anything. So it'll be nice and easy. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get this thing centered. I'm going to mark my mount holes, and then I am going to pre-drill my mount holes for the hardware, the stainless steel hardware that comes with this. And that will be my next step prior to cleaning back up again, making sure all the surfaces are clean and free of debris. And then what I'll do is I'll put some 5200 in basically on the threads in the holes, the pre-drilled holes for the mounting hardware. I will put some 5200 around the back side of this light itself on the housing, all around the hole that was drilled. I'm going to put some in the hole. All right, now I have my holes marked for my mounting hardware. What I'm going to do next is pre-drill these holes. The mounting hardware is 3 number 10s self-tapping screws, but to me, that's what it says on the package. It doesn't look like they're self-tapping. It looks like they're standard screws. They also have a washer that goes around the head. What that's going to do is it's going to center it in the housing when you mount it. So make sure you put your washers on, these plastic spacer slash washers at the same time, and each one of them are going to need one of these. So now I am going to drill the holes, pre-drill the holes, and get ready to mount this into the boat. All right, so now we have her in. As you can see, you want that 5200 to squish out as you install this. What you want to do is get it on the back of it. So put your wires through the hole, then you're gonna put a good amount of 5200 on the back of the light housing, around the screw holes, all around the inside, and as much as you can get on there without being too excessive where it's going to be a crazy amount out. I'd say maybe a 1/8 of an inch thick of sealant of 5200 all around the inside, the back side of this light. And then when you go to install the screws, you want to make sure that on one side of them you put a bead of 5200 down it before you install them, and then you're going to screw them in, and it should come out looking nice and good like that. I did a pre-drill for the holes, and I started with the 1/8 inch drill bit, and then I finished with a 5/32, and the 5/32 was perfect for those 10mm screws. They threaded in nicely. What I did is I started with the top left corner and I screwed it in, but I did not screw it all the way down. I waited till the head just past the top portion and I stopped. Then I moved on to the right and I did the same thing. I stopped right here about the top so everything was still loose fitting so that the holes would line up, and then I put the bottom one in, and when I did the bottom one I tightened that one down, and then I did a clockwise circle. I went up to the top left, and then I finished off with the top right, and it turned out perfectly. So there it is. Now I just need to get onto the wiring. Let me give you a look. I haven't even looked inside yet. Let's see how it looks inside. All right, as you can see there, we have a good amount of 5200 coming through the back. Everything looks good. Plenty of wire so that I can work with it. As you can see, I'll be able to attach up here outside my extension leads that are gonna run to the center console. So everything came out perfect. Looks good, easy install, do not be afraid. I'm probably gonna put a little more 5200 around those screws and get them nice and sealed. And then I'll also run my finger in a dab around that wire and then clean my finger off. Now, if you have any excess that does get out and around, like I had a little bit on the outside of the housing right here from when I was putting the screws in, it says right in the instructions, get a cheap throwaway lint free that you don't care about, because once you put it on here, it's gonna be on here for life. And wipe the surfaces with the lint free and it'll wipe right off before it starts curing. So throw it on there, get it done, and then clean it up with a lint free if you have anything on the outside of the housing that you don't like the way it looks. And that's it. So let's get to it. Another quick tip, this I learned being an electrician. My father's a master electrician. If you get a couple of these red sized wire nuts for basically wire nutting large wires together for house electrical, they will screw right on the top of nozzles for like caulking guns or these adhesive sealant hand ones, and they'll seal it back up so you don't have to worry about anything, you know, hardening up on you. And quick and easy, they'll thread themselves on, thread themselves off, and it's a good way to save sealant when you want to reuse it again. All right, so now we're going to wire this up. I've let my wire sit out in the sun for a while. What that does is it softens it up so it's easier to move around things and stuff like that. This is a marine grade 16 gauge red and black, positive and negative, or speaker wire. You can use it for any of these. This is oxygen free copper, and it's tinned as well for the salt water so it doesn't corrode and stuff like that. So I will be running this, and this is going to be going to my accessory switch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my LEDs on the interior from my accessory switch over, and I'm going to piggyback them on my courtesy light switch, which I should have done in the first place, so I could keep this accessory free and open. This will now be my transom light, and then this one here is still the light bar that was installed previously. So where this is going to run from is we are going to pop open okay, going to run from in there. It's going to feed back just like all the other ones, and it goes, oh, 1 second, let me get this engine bay opened real quick. All right, so you're gonna pop this board right here. This is where your wires will feed through, just like your transducer wires, your speaker wires, your amplifier kit wires. Runs through here into the engine bay. It'll be going back through that back divider wall, and then it'll hook up right here with the transom light. All right, the install is complete. It is broad daylight. It is super bright. Let me walk you through it. So remember, we came in here, right? I got it all 5200 up. Comes up, it's spliced in, and it's heat shrunk with butt connectors that are marine grade with heat shrinking. Zip tied up. Went through the hole up there with this water line. Comes into the engine bay. Comes in there. Comes around the engine bay, zip tied in, away from all the heat. Then it goes down into the port service hole, electronic service hole, which comes through here. And then up in there, which I wired it to the second accessory, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 switches over for you. Okay, so that's your second accessory. This one is for the light bar that we did before up top there. And now when I turn the courtesy lights on, so the courtesy lights are on, that is when the LEDs go on. So everything's wired up tight, and I'll show you how I did it. One of the best things you can invest in are these marine grade single female dual male pronged splitters, because that's how you're able to attach more products. Here's that Scar audio amp, still going strong, and the SK8M8's in here, but comes up through there, runs up the wiring harness. I still haven't clipped the zip ties yet, and I haven't zip tied up the wiring, but as you can see, it comes up here, right? So you get the power, and then you have the double split ground. I had to do the same thing on this one, a double ground, to add the accessories to it. And then over here on the courtesy, you see the double positives with the double grounds, and there you go. Now remember, these are only 15 amps, so if you're running anything that's going to take more than 15 amps, do not do this split or you will pop the circuit breaker. But everything on here is under 15 amps, way under, way below 10 amps, so we're good to go. Well, I hope you like this video, and I have more coming soon, adding more LEDs, and I'm gonna go over what happened with the warranty work that was done to the motor because of a poor Q&A from Yamaha. I'll see you guys next time on the channel. I'm gonna clean this up, and I'm gonna go water test it as soon as I can.